Welcome everyone. Good evening. It's Friday evening here. If you're in the US, it's Friday morning. It's Friday afternoon. Um, just as I have scheduled and made posters and planned, we are talking about. We are dealing with the topic. We are the fathers. So we are you father? Who are two papa? Papa Ute. Using that song that was viral, and the reason why I brought this program to happen today is because of what we have on ground. I've noticed that we are losing less and less of our fathers. And we are getting less and less of our fathers. We are losing more and more of our fathers. And I thought, is there something we can do to call our fathers to order? What exactly is fatherhood? What we are doing today is basically to honestly, sincerely, bro to bro, examine what fatherhood is today. We're going to identify the strengths. We're going to identify the challenges. We're going to identify the opportunities. We're going to identify the weaknesses. We're going to look at what can we do to get fatherhood to what it's supposed to be now. And it's not a session to blame or shame fathers. It's not a session to blame or shame mothers. It's not a session to shirk blame. It's a session to hold ourselves accountable so that we know where we are lacking as fathers. Now, you may not be a father yet, but inevitably you will be a father because it may not be just having a child. It may be a father figure. And once you understand that, you begin to you live in a realization that, okay, I don't have my child now. I don't have my child yet, but I can prepare myself for when I do have my child. That is what it is about today. So the question, when we hear the question, where are you, father? It's a question of responsibility. It's a question of identity. It's a question of responsibility, identity, and call to a higher level. It's a question of impact. We're going to examine, okay, what are fathers supposed to be? What are they now? And how can we make them modify or change them from what they are now to what they're supposed to be? Why are we even doing these sessions? Why are we trying to change? I see you. You're welcome. I'm also live on TikTok, the same account. I'm also live on YouTube, Dr. Temitope's Clinic on YouTube. And on TikTok is Dr. Temitope, just dr.temitope. What I'm doing now is a call to order because things are going out of hand. The father's role has been relegated. So we want to understand, we want to restore, we want to redefine what fatherhood is. And not just fatherhood, responsible fatherhood. What is our aim? To restore the order in the home, to restore the support that should have been from the beginning, and to let fathers know that you're not alone in this struggle. There are avenues that supports for you. We see you, we recognize you. That is what today's session is about. We are not going to shame anybody. We are not going to blame anybody. This is fathers, guys, looking at ourselves and saying, look, this is my duty. I have shirked my duty, or I need help in my duty, or I've done this far. I need to go further. Because if I don't do it now, if I don't correct it now, there's lineage coming after me. I'm going to perpetuate the error. I'm going to perpetuate the evil. I'm going to perpetuate the lapses. So I'm going to ask, and you can type in the comments, when you hear, where are you, Father? Whether professionally, personally, what does it mean to you? What is fatherhood to you? Because if we understand where we are coming from now, we'll be able to understand where we are going to and take a track record. So if I ask you, who is a father? What will be your response? You can type it in the comments. What's up? I see you. Who is a father? Now, this session, no answer is wrong. We are all here to learn. Who is a father to you? Professionally, personally, spiritually, emotionally. Who is a father to you? I'm waiting for comments. I'm not seeing comments. If you have comments, please type. Who is a father to you? To me, it's a spiritual leader, it's a mentor, it's someone that can use his energy to lift mine. It's someone that can protect me, someone that can shield me, it's someone that can scold me, someone that can correct me, someone that can give me guidance to be a man. I'm waiting for your guys' comments. Who is a father to you? If you hear, oh, father, oh, it's my father, oh, that guy is a father, what does it mean to you? Some people will define it as, oh, the person that gave birth to me. Some people will be like the one that provides for me. Some people will be like, oh, it's the one that protects me. Some people will say, okay, I'm looking at some messages. Some people will say, oh, it's the one that shields me. Or is the one protector? Okay. So you say protector. Okay. So protector, that's just one way to look at it. Protector, provider. Okay. I see Michelle, a leader. So you said three things now: a leader, a protector, a provider. So we are looking at provider, biological father. We're looking at protector. We're looking at someone that leads. Now the home structure. Now, thank you, Michelle. We're looking at spiritual leaders. We're looking at the head of the home by default now. But I want to ask, is fatherhood just defined along those lines? Is the fatherhood, is that way it ends? A leader, a protector, a provider? Is that where it ends, or the one that gave birth to me biologically? Is that all about fatherhood? Okay, you don't think so? So, see, it's going to be a dialogue. It's not just going to be me talking down to you guys. It's going to be a dialogue. If you have a comment, you can tap the plus button and send a request, so you can have a conversation. Even if it's one sentence, two sentences, you can tap the plus icon and come up to the box so that we hear your view, because the 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 wrong narrative has gone on for too long. And until we begin to hear, okay, what do people actually mean? The father is the head, physical and spiritual. He is the defender, counselor, and mentor, etc. Okay, okay, okay. So you've said a number of things about head. Is physical head, is spiritual head, is the defender, is the counselor, and the mentor. Apart from that, is there any other thing that the father is supposed to occupy, or any other role that the father is supposed to occupy? Why I'm asking this is because I may be coming from my own point of view, but it may be possible that there's a point of view that I've not covered. Okay, so mentor, leader, spiritual leader or spiritual head, physical head, provider, protector, defender, counselor. Can we now look at, okay, now this look like the traditional roles of the father. How has this roles been modified over time? What is fatherhood today now? We know what it is supposed to be. What is it now? We know what it is supposed to be. Leader, provider, physical head, spiritual head, defender, counselor, and mentor. What is it now as compared to what it was before, or what it is supposed to be? So we look at these are traditional roles of the father. What are the modern roles that have been changed? Because I will give an example. Today now, if I just have a child, automatically I become father. Even if I don't provide, if I don't protect, they just say, oh, he's the father of the child. Oh, he's also the carer for mommy and the springboard for the home. Okay. So he doesn't just provide, protect, he doesn't just lead, doesn't just defend, doesn't just counsel or mentor. He also cares, which means despite the hard and the tough part of him, he also does a soft part of caring. Now, caring can be provision, can be protection, it can be leading. So I'm going to add to what we have already. You said he's a counselor. Yes, he's a mentor. He's a teacher. The father usually is the main moral compass. So when you're talking about how the child should behave, who disciplines the child, who corrects the child, the father also has a role to play in correcting the discipline, in correcting the behavior, mentoring. Now, I know mothers have their part. Today's focus is on fathers. So I don't want to hear someone say, oh, mothers too are doing it. We're not concerned about what mothers are doing. We are concerned about what fathers are doing, what they should do. So, apart from that, I want to ask another question. Have the expectations of fathers changed? Have the expectations of fathers changed in 2026 as compared to 1996 or as compared to 1956? Let's use 50 or 70 years difference. Between 1956 and 2026, has the expectation of father changed? If yes, why? If no, if yes, how? If no, how? I see your likes. Have the expectations of fathers changed between 1956, that is 70 years ago? Or let's even use 1976, so let's use 50 years. 1976 and now of 2026, has the expectation of fathers changed? Or is the expectation the same? If you say yes, how has it changed? If you say no, what is still obtained or what is still obtainable? My panelists are not here. I wish they were here so that we can have this discussion. Please, if you want to put a comment, you can just click on the box, the plus sign here, and come up. I've sent some invites. Please come up and share your opinions. But good evening. Yeah. Okay, I can hear you now. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So Mr. Alamon, you say you just want to talk. Okay, no problem. So I was asking that has fatherhood, the expectation of fatherhood. No, you can talk. You can talk. Yes. Everyone can hear you. Yes. Hmm. Okay. Yes.
And the children should be expecting, should be sending money to them from up to 20 years ago. But after with some time now, fathers are now realizing that they couldn't do something as favorable to children. And therefore, that's less demand of
Okay.
them because the fathers are also working hard. They're not actually tired or retired fully.
Okay.
So the expectation has actually reduced for some.
So no, that is now you've given the expectations of fathers. I'm saying, what is the expectation? How was the expectation of from the father now? For instance, maybe 50 years ago. Yes.
In the first instance, father would want our children to be at the top level, not to be subservient. Father expect their children to be independent. Father expect their children to be better than them in terms of being men, not somebody who want to be dependent.
Okay, so you have it backwards. What I'm asking is, okay, as a child, as a member of the family, what do I expect from my father? What did I expect from my father 50 years ago? And what is the average child expecting from the father today? And what are the differences between what you expect from the father?
Okay, 50 years ago, I expected my father to be responsible for my upkeep, to be responsible for my education, to be responsible for my defense, to be responsible for my life until I got married.
Okay.
That's my expectation from my father.
Okay.
And what the expectation of children now?
Yes.
Or what expect from children now?
What do the children expect from their fathers now? What do family members expect from the father or father figure now as compared to 50 years ago?
But you really don't know. For my own experience, I think my children are just independent of their own. They are not expecting anything from me.
Okay.
Let me use myself as an example.
Okay.
They don't bother me. They don't worry. They don't expect anything from me because they thought we have done enough, or we have tried our best to ensure that they get to whatever level they want to get and be on their own.
Okay.
So, but I don't know from any other for my counseling. When people complain, my father is not doing this, my father is not doing that, and I tell them, well, if their father have actually educated them, pay for the education, and so on and so forth, they should not expect anything from their father. But if the father has failed in this responsibility, of course, the children will continue to look up to them. Okay. But if the children are well educated, they are their own. They can fend for themselves, okay, and not bother their father again. So that's from my own experience. Okay. My life is so simple that my children don't bother me. They don't expect anything. Well, they don't expect anything from me because they are self-sufficient. Okay. So, but not unlike other fathers. Probably because we are Christians. Probably because they know we have tried our best. Okay. Probably they think we have paid our dues. Yes. Because all our children are married, so I think that's the best. That's all we can do for them. Since they're married, they will be on their own now. So, okay. So, in the comments, Sherilyn, you wrote, I think children all expect fathers to be present, mostly in their life and everyday activities, which is true. And I agree with you that the expectation has changed. And I think it changes based on individual homes and based on individual inputs the fathers have made into their children. I think that's what modified those expectations. Now, there's a part that we don't usually talk about when we talk about fathers. I want to ask, and I'm asking everybody, is it possible that fathers are effective without the emotional presence? Come again.
Is it possible that fathers are effective without the emotional presence? Okay, deep chat. Because so when I was listing the functions of the father, we talked about provider, counselor, mentor, teacher. We talked about protector. There is a part I mentioned emotional anchor. So when this child is losing it and is getting disoriented and all about the place because of certain conditions, the father is the one to anchor that child. Now I'm not asking, can fatherhood be effective without that emotional presence of the father?
Well, surely, a father is a father all the time because the father continues to look after the child, irrespective of age. If the child is going through some trauma, the father is there to give some succor, to give some counsel, to give advice, to give a kind of help, in whatever form, until that child comes back to normalcy. Because, presently the economy all over the world it's not welcoming. It's very harsh, and that's taking many people away from their expectations. And therefore, a father should be there to give counsel, to help, and give courage and encouragement that yes, it could be hard today, but tomorrow could be better. So it will ensure the emotional life of that child is stable, and especially when that child is having problem with the marriage. even though the child may not want the father to interfere, but in a way, the father will continue to pray for that child, because it could be terrible if the marriage of that child is not going well, and that could put everything into jeopardy. So, and that's why the father need to pray seriously for the standing of that child until death takes away the father. He will still continue to look after that child, because the child, even if the child is 70 years old, that father who's now 90 will still be worried about the life and the peace of that child. So forever, that's a child, that's a father for one, forever.
So genuine interest in the child, especially emotionally.
Yes.
Okay. So now I've been able to identify three aspects, because part of this discussion is also looking at father's absence. Now, there's physical absence, there's the emotional absence, and a passive presence. So the physical absence is that the father is not there at all. The emotional aspect absence is where the father is only there to give harsh correction and not give a cushion. And of course, the passive one is that the father is there but is absent. He's there like he's not there. The roles of the fathers, apart from being present, are not being done. And this now takes me to, why are fathers absent?
There are many reasons. The father may be absent if the wife is not cooperating with the father.
Okay.
That will cause the absence of the father. He may stand alone.
Okay.
If the wife is not agreeing,
and
if there's no love between the father and the mother, that could be number one problem. The father may be, we may see him occasionally, but he may not even be involved in the affairs of the home. And definitely, if it's not the affair of the home, then the children will miss it, because we will try to avoid problem also. And if the wife is a complainant or a nagging one, the father will want to stay away from that kind of environment. And if you stay away from that environment, the children will suffer it. Then the father also will be just ordinarily, do your own, let me do my own. So everybody to his own tent. So no communication between the father and the mother, and therefore, in that case, the children will surely suffer, irrespective of the age of that child. So, most importantly, the father and mother must definitely be on one page and on the same paragraph all the time. If on the same page and same paragraph all the time, it will reflect on the children. And the children also will be settled, and that's what we take away with their own life too.
Okay, so I want us to, because I'm trying as much as possible. Number one, I said it's not going to be a blame or shame session. I'm trying to focus on where the men have failed and where they can step up. For instance, one of the reasons I found out for men disengaging from the home is, for instance, economic pressure. The father feels that because his purchasing power has been reduced, he distances himself to kind of take away the shame, like out of shame, to hide himself from the home. That's just one. Another one is still stemming from the economic pressure, fear of inadequacy. Okay, I have 3 children, I have 4 children, I have 5 children. If I am present and I'm not providing anything, it will be clear, it will be an insult, it will be a shame to me. And another thing is cultural narratives. We have been fed the lie that fathers don't want to be in the home. We have been fed the lie that fathers are not doing enough. The society is pointing to fathers as deadbeats, like they call them. The society is pointing to fathers as irresponsible, and sperm donors. And if that picture is perpetuated into the home, the father sees himself as irrelevant. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and she was saying that men are not so important, that the importance is because women give them that importance. So, because I'm looking at why would the man start a family and then abandon that family? Another thing I found out was trauma from upbringing. So this father as a child was not raised properly. He now grew up to be a father or became a father, carrying those traumas.
The question is, why did that child have a trauma? Why? What the root causes of that trauma? It definitely, when you look at it, it's your relationship between the husband and wife. The husband will not be a mad person to wanting to cause trauma, even to the children. If the wife is not cooperating or nagging, the man will want to avoid trouble at home, and therefore he try to dodge or run away from problems.
Okay. So
You see, there could be transfer aggression also. When the wife is abusive and so on and so forth, there could be a transfer aggression, and definitely who suffers. When two elephants fight, they say grass. The grass is the one that suffers. So when the husband and wife are not agreeing and they are always at war, it's the children that will suffer, and we see the transfer aggression will be there, and the children will not understand it. And they say, my father is a bully, my father is this, my father is that. Whether they won't understand what has caused that. A man that got married didn't get married to be having problem.
Mm-hmm.
He got married so that we have peace. He got married so that we have relationship. He got married that we have a companion. He got married because he wants somebody to cancel and to live together. But when the marriage is troubled, definitely it will affect everything.
So you have described an ideal man. You have described a man by the books. I'm dealing with figures of today. I'm dealing with figures of statistics. There are men that have not grown out of childhood. They just added years, but they are still men in their minds. They do not understand that it's more than just impregnating this girl and having a child. They have allowed vices, for instance, alcohol, smoking, womanizing, to overtake them, and they've carried it onto a new family. They've forgotten their primary responsibility and reason for getting married and becoming a father. They've abandoned the home and they're now looking outside. The woman has done everything. Now, because I'm trying to move I'm trying to look within to men. This man has not learned the principles of what is meant to be a father. He now carried his own problems and now used it to join into a home. And now he's not supposed to lead a home without the right tools. He has not developed himself.
You see, okay, you are right, but what is the foundation of this child?
That's what I'm saying. That
the foundation of this child, because it was not taught. There's no education of that child. For instance, a man, a child that doesn't know how to cook, he doesn't know how to take care of the home, he doesn't know how to talk, he doesn't know how to greet, he doesn't give respect. This is the foundation, this is the problem. That's what he has gotten with. And somebody who has not been taught the home, the ethics at all, and he gets married, definitely they're going to behave like ordinary animal.
Dr. Deepa, I see your questions. Yes, so no, I was talking to the comments because someone's asking what is nagging, what is peace? You should define peace. What is nagging?
Nagging is somebody is always complaining. It's a complainant.
Okay.
If that person doesn't say anything good, anything he sees
Okay.
He saw that person, that guy is inappreciative of the little effort done by the other person. He complains. He doesn't see right. He's negative about things and and again also you could be a perfectionist.
Okay.
When this person is not doing it well, he's always complaining and you have not done it well. Okay, well, you should have done that well. He doesn't have that accommodation. It doesn't accommodate failure or wrong.
Yes.
So that's a complainant. Now that's a nagger. He's always nagging. He's always too much salt, too much, too dirty, too this. It's also negative. That's nagging.
Now,
and when a man hears this, or a child continues to hear this all the time, without complimentary things. Oh, you are okay. Oh, well done. You have done it well. Okay, you are okay. It's not very good, but you can do it better. So when a child learns this and hears this, he definitely will know. Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, I've done it good this way, but tomorrow I will do it better. But they say, oh, you always a failure. Oh, you are getting zero. Oh, you are not doing well. When somebody continues to do this, it gets to the head of that child, and that's what it goes on with. And by the time he now gets back, he will continue to be in trauma all the time because he will be hearing that negative voices from the father.
so can we now still go back and find out, okay, what are the things that could be faulty in the man? Because today I want to focus on the man. This man.
Yeah, you see,
Okay.
where did the man get up? How before that man becomes a man, what was the man's background?
Okay.
What was his background? What is the foundation? What foundation does he have?
Okay.
Before he becomes a man. Because he becomes a man when he gets married. To be honest with you, he's not yet a man until he gets married.
Okay, that's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, until he gets a child. He may not marry legally, but once he gets a child or something, then he becomes a man. Or when he has somebody that he live with, but somebody who is alone, he doesn't have responsibility towards children. You can't call that person really a man because he has not even faced the ordeal of life. You know, who depending on him. He's not fending for anybody. He's not responsible for anybody. So he's on his own. And therefore, we can't call that person a real man. It's just see, until the person gets home and takes care and be responsible for certain aspects and be accountable for a life. If he's not accountable for a life, or not for a life, to develop a life, to mentor a person out, you can't call that person a man. No. But a person, a man, male now, has a child, then becomes a man. That is a full man now. Because he has somebody he need to mentor, he has somebody to guide, he has somebody to counsel, he has somebody to educate, he has somebody to provide for, he has somebody to do many things so that person can be able to stand on his own. So that's a man. But if a man lacks this, he doesn't get that from his parents, he doesn't get that from his father. Definitely, where does he get it from? If the father has missed that to do that up in the life of that man or that child who is going to become a man, definitely going to be problematic in the future.
But we know of fathers that have done everything, mothers have done everything to raise this child, and this child ended up being aberrant.
Well, society, peer group.
Okay.
In the school. Peer group. You know, yeah, there are some families that are very upright. That the father is fantastically good, the mother is fantastically good. But when the child now sees, he goes out and it becomes something else. He becomes so free and joins peer group and becomes distorted and becomes what do you call it?
Distracted and
intoxicated.
Yes.
Yeah, intoxicated with all everything and get confused. There could be that. Then another thing could be this telephone that we are using.
Yes.
We can call it as peer group. This telephone, as good as that telephone is, that telephone is a devil. So no matter the uprightness of that child, if it's exposed to this telephone, especially this Android or whatever it is, then you know what the eye sees registers. And when it's not controlled, then it becomes a matter of it. Many people have been deranged as a result of the telephone. Many people have lost it because of the telephone. Many men have even dropped out because of the telephone, because of so many things. This I don't know whether they call it media or social whatever.
Social media.
So many things. Social something. That's why I'm saying a child, a man. Let me talk of a man now. A man to be must be restricted from all these things and be educated in such a way that how to make use of these devices. Because the devices, as good as may be, the bad aspect of it are even more than even the good aspect of it. So unfortunately, we are in this society now, and that's why in some countries now they are restricting this social media or the use of
telephone. So I want to so that we can get the key points from this.
Yeah.
The upbringing that brought this man to manhood. If he's faulty, you raise a faulty man.
Yes. Yeah.
That's one. Number two, if this man leaves the right way of being brought up and decides to go into the society and what society is suggesting to him as a man, he becomes derailed and gets the wrong perception and the wrong tools for raising a family or having a family. Number three is that if he has chosen wrongly, that is his partner now, if he makes the wrong choice for a partner, he will eventually be relegated or have problems raising a family. And number four, good evening, Jamo. And number four, if he has not equipped himself with the right tools, the right study, the right environment to know what a father is expected to do. Those are the four things I will simply pick for what you said.
Okay, you are right. Also, and then again, you know, if he's too free, too much freedom.
What?
For instance, in some schools,
Okay.
the freedom I'm talking about is you have let him do anything he likes because he's not in the university. He's an undergraduate, and therefore he's above correction. He's above scolding. He's above somebody now cautioning. I will leave them alone. So that would be another thing: the abandonment of responsibility of some leaders. Whether apart from his father now,
yes.
In the society, they find himself very school that they don't care and anything goes. I know of a university that they don't allow even their undergraduates to have access to telephone.
Okay. Yes.
So that's one of the things. They don't allow them to have access to telephone. Then they can have computers, but they will not allow them to have this to be connected to this social media thing. They try to bring them up. So that could be another way of, the society we are in now. So many of these children who are suddenly want to get rich by all means and they don't want to work. They want to get money like yesterday. They are not ready to put in their effort and not discipline. They just want to make it and live large. So because there's nobody to control them.
Yeah.
So that could be the society factor that's actually affecting men these days, and the expectation of the society itself. Because this one is not. He has not gotten it. He's still working. He has been working. What has he got out of it? So the pressure of life, the pressure of society.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Baba. Jamo, I see you're welcome. Good evening. You're welcome to the session. You were quite late, almost 1 hour late. Yeah. Good evening. So I intentionally refused to introduce my dad. So this is actually my dad. I'm having a conversation with. Yes. So
your actual father?
Yes, my father.
Oh, greetings. Good evening, Mr. Peter.
God bless you. Thank you.
So I intentionally left that part out, but this is my dad. So
That's an amazing life. Life is about father. You hosting you. That's amazing.
so I've come full circle now. Now I'm a father. So so we're having this discussion about the presence, absence, the importance, the roles of fathers. And we are looking at this point, we've gotten to what will make a father disengage from his family. And we've looked at the ill-equipped father. We have looked at the distracted father. We've looked at the irresponsible father, so to speak. That is, you have a family now, but you're not awake to the responsibilities of the home. We are looking at the presence of the father that has been pushed down by society. Most of the movies you see now, the father, especially the black father, is a dummy. He's the one that doesn't have a job or doesn't do things well. Most of the movies you see now, the father is made to portray the one that is less intelligent. We have said that the father, if he doesn't choose well his life partner, a faulty relationship will bring out a faulty home, eventually to reflect on that father. If there's a fear of inadequacy or there's economic pressure, this father will feel inadequate and be relegated. And of course, he will withdraw. And we've also looked at the fact that this father had some childhood traumas, maybe from a faulty home, from a broken home, and got the wrong information, got the wrong example, got the wrong template of mentorship concerning who a father should be. So that's where we are. You're welcome.
I mean, thank you so much. First of all, secondly, these are very powerful points that sometimes that you mentioned that sometimes society overlook.
Yeah.
I actually would like to listen more.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yes.
Okay. So
for a contribute, yes.
Okay. So no problems then. So the next thing I want to talk about is what is the impact of the father's presence? What is the impact of the father's absence? Two things: father's presence, father's absence. What is the impact? We can take it one by one. If the father is present, what impact does it lay as a foundation? Snowflakes, I say you're welcome. If the father is absent, what impact does it portray on the family?
I mean, statistically, we keep hearing kids that get into crime and juvenile situation is because the lack of father presence.
Okay.
Where the impact would be maybe perhaps more confidence for the child, more guidance and confidence.
Okay.
And every child have that part in his or her heart, looking for their father to kind of confirm and to kind of supply them with confidence, supply them with reassurance, supply them with protection and guidance.
Okay.
When that's missing, they say a child turned cold growing up, and that's why in countries where these things are familiar, you see a high juvenile rate, juvenile
delinquency.
Yes. Yes. So now you mentioned something about how's the media almost painting fathers in the wrong light. It's true. Now, why do fathers withdraw sometimes? What makes a man withdraw from his own family? Well, it might be for two reasons.
Yeah.
First of all, he never had a good example to withdraw from
Okay.
growing up.
Okay.
That might, the other, or it might be for several reasons. The
Mm-hmm.
other reason is, um, society is bashing him down anyway.
Okay.
Like, it might be the financial obligation, the society and family.
Yes.
A lot of fathers don't have a community
Okay.
of their own,
Mm.
right? Where, I mean, it's unheard of, fathers community. Beside like beside, and I'm not speaking about a family community or religious community. No, I'm speaking about a community specifically to guide fathers, right?
Yes.
That might choose another way.
Okay. So.
There's no such thing.
Okay. So Jamo, so that we don't go ahead of the syllabus. Let me guide your comments, or let me guide the discussion in this way.
Sure.
We're looking at the impact of father absence or presence. Darling, I see you, Miss Darling. Now, look at it under these lines. Number one, identity formation. For the children now, identity formation. That's number one. How is the father's presence or absence going to affect identity formation for the child? Number two, how will the father's presence or absence affect emotional security? Number three, how will the presence or absence of the father affect discipline and boundaries? And four, how will the presence or absence of the father affect self-esteem and resilience in this child? Those are the four things: identity formation, emotional security, discipline and boundaries, self-esteem and resilience. Can you discuss along those four lines? One, identity formation. Go.
I would like to give a chance to other people and come back at the end after everybody
Okay.
spoke about it, because I would like to
Okay.
accumulate enough.
Okay. So Snowflakes, I see you. You're welcome. No problems. Snowflake, I see you. Thank you for joining. We're discussing the impact of either the absence or the presence of fathers on the child along those four lines. I'm giving those four directives so that we can have a directed and documented, orderly note. I don't know if you're taking notes. My pencil is here. I'm also taking notes. So I don't know, Papa. I don't know if you want to weigh in on.
All right. You see, the absence of a father to a child is noticeable in the way that child behaves, because a father is supposed to be a role model. Is a controller, is a director, is a teacher. And when the father is absent, all these are likely to be missing, because the mother may not be able to provide all this, because the mother is accompanied with so many other things. So it's the father that brings discipline. Usually when the mothers are home, he will tell the child, I will report this to your father. So, and the child hearing that I'm going to be reported to my father, gives a kind of control or caution to that child. And when that father is missing, that discipline is off. The child can behave anyhow. So the absence of the father brings chaos in the life of that child. But the presence of that father, a responsible father, bring discipline, bring courage, bring hope to that child.
Okay.
Then for the child identity, he has somewhere to look up to. You can see that, who do I want to be? Who do I want to see? How do I make my life? You see that in the father and want to copy the father. You want to follow the footsteps of that father. But if the father is not there, then it's to the world, to anybody. So that's the problem.
But what do you say? What do you say to people that will say, the father is not that important. If the father is not there, the mother can do these duties?
No, whoever is saying that is not realistic. The position of the father cannot be compromised. The position of the father is so key that he can't do without. Because the father figure, the masculine figure, is just there. Because God who has created man, he knew why he created man first. And he gives man the responsibility of care, of providing, of everything, of defending. That's the provision, that's the position of the man. The man is the head. Anytime, whether physically, spiritually, financially. However, if I can just go to a little of financial, if the father doesn't have enough muscle or financial capability, and that's why he needs some help from the mother. But if the mother is not even there also, he should be able to be disciplined enough to manage whatever he has and not allowing the absence of finance to affect him negatively. And well, usually I tell people, as a father, don't have too many children. Because too many children will bring too many problems. When you have few children, you'll be able to manage and provide for these few children so that the economic pressure in the future will not be too much for him to bear. So, so the father is there for all things. So, if anybody say the father is not important, that person is not saying the truth. No, I don't. The person is not. It's not factual.
Okay, so I'm going to bring the discussion points to sort out and put in order what you just said, so that my viewers can understand. Because we've done like 3 different things. For instance, you said identity formation. So the father's presence allows this child to have an identity. This is who I am. This is the son of who I am. This is who my father is. This is what is expected of me as a child. It allows for some level of discipline. This child will not misbehave. It guides the child's behavior and sets boundaries for what this child can do and get away with it and what he cannot do. Snowy, I see you're welcome, Chief. Then it also allows for emotional anchoring. So this father's presence will allow this child to coordinate and regulate his emotions and not allow him to just be throwing tantrums. The absence will give birth to a child that is unruly, indisciplined, no boundaries, no self-esteem or self-respect, and it will be a nuisance to the environment, immediate and at large. Yes. So, and of course, the issue of she talks, I see you, the issue of self-esteem and resilience comes in because the man will be able to push and say, look, tough love, you can do it. You can do it. You don't rely. Now, I'm not saying that the woman's role is relegated. She talks, I see you. I'm saying this is the role of the man. Now, this is the impact on the child. For the community at large, that is moving away from the home now, the impact on the families and society, that is the impact of the father's presence or absence, on the society at large, it will include problems of single parent burdens. For instance, if this father is absent, the woman will be overworked. Or if this man is the only one being present, he's going to be doing 2 people's job. He's going to be overworked. There's a risk of burnout. Number 2, like I said, if this child has been raised by the father being present, he will not be a nuisance to the environment. He will be taught how to communicate, how to behave outside the home. And if that teaching grows with him, he'll become a father to replicate and mirror what the father has taught. And finally, the community gets some level of stability. If the father does his role in the community and in the house, how does he get stability? There's an order of things. The father is able to put this child in order. Okay, Jamo. Such that the child does not go outside the confines of the rules and regulations that have been laid for the home. So, and we say that the community is a reflection of each individual homes. So if each individual home gets it correctly, they come together, a correct community is born. And a correct community will lead to a correct state and country and nation or a tribe. Now, removing the father from that equation now disorients and scatters the whole thing. So we have unruly children, uncontrollable children, criminals, drug addicts, juvenile delinquents, disrupted neighborhoods, disrupted community, and disrupted nation. I think I'm putting my story together. I hope everyone understands. Yes.
We're getting you.
Yes. So now, what do children lose when this father is silent or absent? What do children lose when this father is absent or silent? We've talked about passive presence. The father is present, we can see the father, but he's silent. What do the children lose?
Well, I'm just mentioning in another way. You notice whatever is missing when the father is absent.
So I'm mentioning it in another way so that we can further grasp and assimilate the essentials that the father brings, especially for the child, because that's important for the child. Because this child is going to grow up and become a father or a mother tomorrow.
But the child loses control, he loses discipline, he loses morals, he loses identity. I mean, who does he resemble? Who does she resemble? Who will be? Because the home, in the first instance, is the first school a child will go. And until the child gets out of the house, that child continues to learn and learn and learn. So, and if the father is not there, the child loses many things. He doesn't know how to behave, he doesn't know how to talk, he doesn't know how to do things, he doesn't know how to relate or interact, he doesn't know how to speak. So the child loses many things. So just the other side, when the father is absent, the mother is there trying as much as possible, but usually that's the mother's some limitation because they are combined with so many activities. Women are too busy. They carry so many loads that they will not be able to pay all the close attention to taking care of the children.
Well, I know some people we argue against that, but I will put a pen on it. I'll put a pin on it. So now I'm going to
yeah. Women are very strong. They're stronger than men because they do a lot of activities that we overlook. They wake up too early in the morning, they sleep too late to taking care of me or of the father and the children. When the father is what we call snoring, the mothers are awake caring for the baby until that child grows up. So many work the mother do. They love, but unfortunately, they are not really appreciated. Women are very, very strong, and we need to give to them. And therefore, man is there to help. To help in bringing up the children, in inculcating discipline, moral, teaching, help, as much as possible. Even to care for that woman, and this is what the children will see when they see their father or the man caring for their mother. Their senses will come to bear. This man is good, and in fact, the children will be happy, and that's why they take along. So when they are also grown up too, they want to replicate that.
Okay. Thank you for that. She talks back. You said the children lose several structural supports that shape development over a lifetime. You said the fathers often model how to manage frustration, risk, and authority without collapse or aggression, especially boys. I agree with you 100%. Yes.
I agree.
So now I'm going to read out some responsibilities of the fathers. And we can either agree, disagree, or modify these responsibilities I'm going to read out. Number one, presence, showing up consistently. Number two, provision, not just finances. Provision of finances, provision of guidance. Protection, that is physical, emotional, and moral and spiritual provision and protection. Instruction, they instruct values, discipline, life skills. Affirmation, affirmation is affirming your identity, affirming love, affirming your confidence. So I'll take it again. Provision or presence, showing up consistently. Number two, provision, providing finances and guidance. Number three, protection physically, protection emotionally, protection morally, protection spiritually and financially. Instruction, putting the right values, laying down rules for discipline, teaching life skills. And affirmation, identity, affirming the identity, affirming your self-being, self-confidence, affirming love. Do we agree 100% or do you have something you want to add to it?
Well, I agree entirely with what you have just said.
Hashtag welcome.
The father. Okay, let me come in here.
So let me redo the introductions of snowflakes. At the top box there, you have my dad. I've never had him in my box before. So this is the first time my dad is coming in my box live. So,
Are you serious?
so this is hashtag longtime TikTok friend. This is snowflakes.
Good evening. Well done. God bless you. Good evening, sir. God bless you.
Yeah, so that's my real dad.
Yes, sir. We don't know what to say anymore now because when the haters is in the house, you know, we that came from the other side, we don't know what to say.
So please speak freely because it's easy for us to use respect and leave some things out. We are looking at maybe 2-3 generations now. We've compared what it was before, we compared what it is now. We are making this foundation so that those of us that are here now, we can have the right tools to raise the next generation of fathers. Those of us that are maybe just starting fathers, not fathers yet, already in the phase of becoming a father, we have somebody that looks up to us. We have the right tools. So please speak freely. So Snowflakes, you wanted to say something?
Okay, let me come in first. First and foremost, thank you so much for bringing me up and for talking about this important discussion, and I like it so much. Greetings to the panelists. Daddy will recognize your presence in our midst. Thank you so much. Dr. T, as always, brother, thank you. Now, you mentioned presence, you mentioned provision. First and foremost, let's establish something. The father is like the shepherd that lead the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why all those sheep that has a shepherd, they go on one direction because of the guidance from the shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I've noticed is immediately the shepherd is not around or no more, or they cast aside, those sheep goes astray. They go different direction.
Yeah.
The is that presence. And presence, again, it's not because you're in the house. You can be in the house and still be absent in the life of those children.
Yeah.
Children needs to be able to connect and tap into you to connect with you as a presence father. So that presence is very important, that they're able to connect and relate with you that yes, my father is there. It's not absent. That is why most people who are in the life of their children, still they are absent. You can be available but not accessible. Availability and accessibility become different. So that presence is always there. That presence is always something the children first yearn for from a father. So any father who is there and be able to connect with those children emotionally has any opportunity to model those children. Right? Now let's look into the provision. Again, when we look into this provision, emotionally, you are there for them. They are able to rely on you. So father brings all the structure. Talks about those identity. Now, the father will be the first person that will like straighten them to like who they are as individual, regulating those their emotions, understanding their role call and identity. A majority of this thing, the way they're learning from fathers, it's not because you're saying it, but because you're actually doing it.
The monkey see, monkey do.
And how you respond when there is chaos in the home is what they're going to copy. And those regulations is what they need and copy those style from father. I'm just going to put a little fear and then wait. We're going to still be diving into deep and deep. At least our daddy is in the house. Let's listen to our daddy first. So I'm going on mute.
Okay, thank you so much, Snowflake. So, Papa, you want to weigh in on this tenet I mentioned: the presence, the provision, the protection, the instruction, and the affirmation.
The last speaker, God bless you. I've talked so much. And the word, not the word, shepherd, I think it comprises all. When the shepherd is absent, definitely they should go astray. That you have done it all. You have said it all. I think let me pause here also and listen to any other person. But definitely the fatherhood is they are too important in the home. And the absence is definitely is what you see all around. The effect of it is what we see around now in the society. Drug addiction, not having peaceful home. We have bullies. We have robbers. We have so many kind of people going on in society just because the fatherhood something wasn't just there. So I think you said it all. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Papa. I'm going to go to the comments. Dr. Snowizy, you said, is it possible to be absent yet present? Since you can be present yet absent. That's the question. Is it possible to be absent yet present? Since you can be present yet absent. Is it possible to have it the other way around?
Well, the presence. Are you my comment or somebody else? Okay. If you want me to respond, I can definitely take care of that. If you want me to respond.
Okay, go on, Snowflake. Since you started.
Yes, it is possible. You can be absent and still be present. Remember, there are some fathers who are soldiers. They're not in the home. They go on a trip. They go on different things, but their presence is still felt in the life of their children. They still create time. They still nominate time to ensure they are carrying the children along. Being the present does not mean you have to be physically present. So you can be absent and still be present and relevant in your children's life. There are some people, they are separated from their wives. They're not together anymore. But their children are not still feeling those absence. Because why? The father has prioritized those children and still present in their life. Even though he's absent from the home, he's not there. But his doings and how he relates with his children still prioritize and give them time. They are still feeling those presence. So
Okay,
That
before, okay,
give us the definition of what makes a presence. Or if you can get the definition of what will be mean by being present.
so
Being present does, just as I just said, may not be physical, but it communicates. So that communication is very important. If a father to be present must be communicating. Not only that, doing things without anybody knowing. He must be communicating, he must be talking to these children, he must be talking to the home, he must be talking, he must be relating with them in absentia, but definitely because of the technology that we have now. Like for instance, I mean, I don't know wherever everybody is now, probably in America, in Jamaica, but we're talking and we're relating, we're conversing, we're communicating. So if a father is doing that, he may not be physically present, but he communicates, he talks to the children all the time, he talks to the home, he gives them counsel, definitely he's there. He may not be physically there, but in a way, you communicate with them, so he's present.
okay, thank you for that.
But where a child is not communicating, and the father is not communicating, he's not calling them. Let him give all the money, let him provide everything, but he's not talking to them, he's not seeing them, he's not asking them what their problems are, what their challenges are. That father is missing. He only provides money, but money cannot do all things. Money is money. Being providing money and not being talking to them, the money can be misused.
Yeah.
So you need to follow up that money.
Yeah.
You need to continue to I sent you 10,000 yesterday for your pocket money. How did you spend it? He's talking. So he may not be in the home, but I think he's talking, he's monitoring them, he's mentoring them. So I think that kind of a thing we need to know too.
Okay, so thank you for that, Papa. It's not easy. You asked the question. You said when the father really has to be absent to provide, what are his options? And you answered the question. You said he communicates, he impacts, he influences, and he is involved. In addition to what they said, these are key things. Like I said, showing up consistently, not just showing up in presence, not just showing up in bank alert. Showing up consistently means that you are part of their lives as they grow. You are part of their struggles. You are part of their challenges. You're part of their day, their daily analysis, their daily challenges, their weekly burdens. You are there to lift. You are there to correct. You are there to get a report and then give your opinion and modify their behavior, discipline when necessary. Not just you being there physically. So thank you for this. Now, out of the provision, protection, presence, instruction, and affirmation, do we think any of this is more absent or more present than the other now, today? Nana, I see you, sir. I'm going to take that question again. When you look at provision, you look at protection, you look at presence, you look at instruction, you look at affirmation, which of these do you think is more deficient in today's home from the father?
Personally, I think it's going to depend on the individuals, right? We have different calibers of parental style.
Okay.
We have those people who have different templates. We have people who have different mindsets. And sorry, let me take this call.
Okay. So Snowizy, you said affirmation is scarce. So yeah, so the love, the confidence, the identity is scarce. Is that what you're saying? That is in out of the four that I mentioned now, you feel the affirmation is the most scarce. So, Papa, I don't know if you want to weigh in on that.
Just as I said the other time, the presence of a father cannot be overemphasized, and their importance cannot be put aside. When a father is not responsible or behave irresponsibly, then definitely the children will be adversely affected in all areas of their lives. But if the father here may not be physically present, but is communicating most of the time, the children will see or will know that the father, though not physically present, but not leaving them alone. Because when he's communicating, he will know the challenges these children are going through, or the father to be is going through. And definitely somebody that can call or talk to in face of challenges. So that child will definitely imbibe the culture, imbibe the ethics of the home, and the child will grow up to knowing the importance of being a good father, a responsible father tomorrow. But when the father, he makes provision, financial provision, but he doesn't talk, he doesn't communicate, he doesn't relate, he doesn't ask how their welfare. He just spending his money, and definitely the money will miss the mark. So because the money is essential, but it needs that money to be followed up to ensure that it's justifiably used and tailored to whatever is required.
Okay.
So
Okay. So yes. So what you are saying is that there has to be an equal impact in presence, provision, and all the other protection, instruction, and affirmation. Now, for me, Snow Wheezy, you wrote that many parents, in the name of discipline, end up being derogatory to their children. I agree. When we now talk about child abuse and what passes as abuse today, but apart from affirmation, I think the two most deficient in the home now from parents, from the father, is the instruction and the affirmation. Now, instruction is the values, the discipline, and the life skills. Many of our fathers today have no life skills that they got from their parents. And the affirmation, there is no identity. There is no confidence and there's no love from the male parent, that is the father. So,
can I also say something?
Okay, yes, please.
Because one of the aspects I also think that is also very missing in this era is that emotional availability.
Yeah.
Majority of us were never shown how to demonstrate this emotional availability.
Yeah.
And that is missing. That is missing. And being closed off. As a result, we may be just present, but we're not able to connect emotionally with them. Remember, this is a new era where in those days it was all about provision. You provide and protect. That was all. But these days there are more to that. So we need to be able to, I think that is what is actually missing.
Okay. So now you've added emotional regulation, and that still falls under protection. Yes, it still falls under protection, because under protection I have physical protection, emotional protection, moral and spiritual protection. So you've added now. So eventually now we now see that these 5 things I mentioned, they have equal parts to play: presence, provision, protection, instruction, and affirmation. So we've gone through quite a lot. I want us to shift the gear a bit. What are the barriers fathers face in being in the role of fatherhood? What are the barriers they face now, and how do we tackle these barriers? Snowflakes, I don't know if you want to go with that.
I think some of the barriers, if I can say, is how to do with the peer group. The peer group, where maybe in that peer group, because they may have more pressure on the child. Like for instance, the child that goes to university, the newcomers in the university, they are confronted with so many societies they are supposed to join. And because they see themselves are being free, they may not be able to know the right one to join. And that the pressure will be on them, on these children now going to university. And the pressure may be too much for them, and they will lose their culture, their mind, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the problems that we are facing now. Even a well-behaved child at home goes to university and turns out to be something else, and turns out to be a pretender. And since the father or the parent are not following up, they may not understand, or it's probably too late. I've seen that happen in so many cases. A child that is not followed up in university, he drops out from the school. The father doesn't know because he doesn't follow it up. Also, he pays his money, but he doesn't follow, he doesn't know about it. And the child drops out, and the father doesn't know until after 4 years. He just don't know that the child has not been in the school. These are the problems the fathers are facing now. The society, the society is so corrupt and so wicked that in so many subtle ways. And one of the things they use is this telephone, this technology has so damaged so many things that we only need the grace of God for us to take care of it. These are our children. Honestly speaking, I'm bothered. Personally, I'm bothered. I'm worried. I'm worried about this technology. This technology, especially the AI that's coming now, you don't even know what to do now.
So Snowflakes. Yeah, okay, thank you, Papa. Then Snowflakes, go ahead, please.
I'll talk about three, right? Now, I want to talk about the broken relationship with the mother.
Okay.
Broken relationship with the mother. There are some instances whereby a relationship between the mother and the father is so sour that. Say that again.
Go on, Snowflakes.
Now, it's so bad that there is a kind of bad blood flowing between the two. And remember, when two elephants fight, it does the grass that will suffer.
Yeah.
So on this instance, the children pay the ultimate price. They begin to weaponize the children against each other. Parental alienation set in. In that instances, it will be difficult for fathers or parents, fathers to participate in the life of their children. Another aspect I want to also look at is the legal aspect and the systemic bias against fathers, whereby there is fathers are not being treated as notions. I've said this so many times. That mistrust is always dead in the system, and I think the system needs to be reviewed, holistic review of the systemic, so that they could have a different perspective towards it. Now, another thing again I want to also look into is the economic pressure that father face, because remember, men always identify their self-worth equals to provision. And when there's economic pressure and men are not able to deliver those things, there is bound to be a withdrawal. Because first, the shame and guilt setting in the mind of the man, I'm not able to provide. Avoidance then set upon the relationship between the father and the children. It is not because he's intentionally just want to pull away, but because he's pressed against the word and he feel defeated, not able to. Again, we interpret our self-worth, which is equal to provision. So that is another aspect we also need to look into.
Oh, this is really, thank you so much. This is really loud. Snow Wheezy, you wrote in the comments that there's the burden of provision. You said the barriers is number two, the social belief that men don't cry. You wrote that there's diversity in technology. Now, I'm going to add to this that we all have mentioned. One of the barriers of men being present or absent is the work-life balance. This man, like you said, is measuring himself by how much he can purchase, how much he can provide. And he's hustling left and right, forgetting the foundational presence of me actually impacting with my being there, with my input, not just my financial input. So the work-life balance is crap, messed up such that this father is absent. Yes, he's going to hustle. He bringing money back. But the part that is really important, that is going to really echo, that is going to really imprint, is not there. Also, you talked about economic pressure. You talk about legal in the West, and in many, it's coming home now. Once the man loses his family, he loses it all. And he's seeing that, okay, greeting shares, he's seeing that, oh, the children can do without the man, and even compensated. So the relational problems, the relational limitations, that is, he has not bonded with his spouse. And because they are at loggerheads with each other, the child now becomes the grass and also the tool, the weapon for ping pong, bouncing with each other. Don't mind your dad, don't mind your mom. And this forms a barrier between the man and the home. We also cannot talk about this thing without looking at the mental health challenges of this man. I've said it before that my level of mental stability is dependent on my account balance. And any guy can relate with this. Once my bank account is going down, my depression is coming up, my anxiety is going up. So because mental health challenges, we in Africa see mental health. Once you mention mental health, people are thinking about Uselu, Yaba. They've forgotten that even your day-to-day stress levels culminate or constitute your mental health. I don't know if I'm making any sense. The fact that this man was bullied at the office and is coming home to another bully or to another challenge or to another financial drag or to another tug of war at home can affect and cause his mental health to be imbalanced and can make this man pull back and be present but absent. If we are quiet at this point, what can we do to tackle these problems that we've highlighted? Nana, please unmute your mic.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What's up, Snow? What's going on? All right, so are we talking about fathers
Fathers.
and the work that we do that is not being appreciated?
Yeah, well, yes, as one of the barriers, yes. But how can we solve this problem of the barriers that fathers face?
I think first we need to, number one, choose right.
True.
That is the beginning of everything. Right?
Okay.
We have to choose right to know who we're going to have the children with or who we're going to build that union with. Because at the end of the day, both of us need to appreciate each other, right? And it's very difficult doing everything that you can that you're not being appreciated.
Okay.
I mean, fathers, some of the fathers go through not being recognized for their hard work.
True.
If you don't work, it's a problem. If you work too much. If you do this, it's that. If you do that, it's that. So I think the first step is to, in my opinion, is to choose right, find a woman who will appreciate what you do for the unity or for the family. Then I think that is the beginning of everything because you just nailed it. You say you go to work, depending on what kind of work that you do. Either way, it's stressful at work.
Okay.
So when you come home, that's a place that you lay your head.
Yeah.
You can't come home from chaos into chaos.
True.
You know, and somebody who's already angry, you don't want to continue making the person angry, then they're gonna lash out. And if they lash out, then it's a problem. Right? So my first advice will be choose right and also communicate. And at the end of the day, if you don't choose right, your partner is not even going to be able to listen to you anyway because she's not the right person for you.
True.
And if somebody's right for you, they will listen, they will appreciate everything you do, and you get all the praises, and you keep on doing the good stuff that you're supposed to be doing for your family. I think that's where the problem, first comes from. So this is a little bit of opinion that I have. So I'm still here listening.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much. So before I go to my dad, Snowflakes, do you have a solution for some of these barriers that we have mentioned?
Yes. Okay. First and foremost, they say heal a man and you heal a nation. Right? Now, majority of the fathers have unhealed wounds. Unhealed wounds need to be healed. And that will fix a lot of issues that we're talking about. And it's one of the barriers as well.
Yes. Okay. So,
can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you now. You went quiet for like 5 seconds.
Oh, sorry. I think it's my network because I'm talking. I don't know you will not hear.
Okay, you said you got to the point where you said unhealed wounds that they need to heal.
Yes.
Yes.
Those unhealed wounds need to heal because it is very important.
Okay.
Right? Once you heal those wounds in us, we won't be bleeding on people. We won't be seeing so many things as an excuses. If you go on TikTok and see the way some fathers are lashing out, those are wounds. And those wounds will close your eyes from taking your responsibility. So when those wounds are healed, then realize what is the goal here. Right?
Yeah.
Then we'll also talk about that economic pressure that men always face.
Yes.
Right? Like I said before, the first thing that children knows or want from men are not just the provision aspect. It is we who have conditioned ourselves that our world is centered on provision. You understand? So these are things I could pinpoint.
Okay.
I could pinpoint, but as we progress, we're going to be talking more.
Okay. So now we've mentioned 2 or 3 or 4 things now. I don't know, Papa, do you have any addition to solutions, support systems that we can give to these men, these fathers?
See, the solution to man's problem, whether financial, whether physical, whether choosing right, whether it is God. You must depend on God absolutely for everything that you do, because He is the one that knows the way in the wilderness. God is the one that knows the way on the waters. So if you depend on God to solve problems, definitely you overcome many of these. And God's his way is right. So for you to choose right, God needs to lead you, to guide you. You need the work of the Holy Spirit to help you. So to come away from the financial problem, you need contentment, and which God can only give. If only you depend on Him. It's God that can solve all this problem. To solve the nagging of home, you need prayers, which God can solve. If you need the children are not cooperating, you need God to help make sure that the children fall in line. So we need God, the presence of God, really to know God Himself and through Jesus Christ. So that's where we can overcome many of these problems. Otherwise, the 21st century is a terrible country, it's a terrible century now. many things. The AI, too many things are happening. Wars and it's only God that can give peace. Many people have lost their jobs because of many things. But where do you get comfort from? It's from God. He will assure you. We say, lean on me, depend on me. I will direct you. I will grant you peace. I will the one that gives you peace that passes all understanding. So I want to encourage you young fathers or young fathers to just know your God. Lean on him, cling on him for everything. He will definitely solve the problems we are going through. Okay. He is the one, and that's what I'm enjoying. At my age now, it's just God that is helping. So I'm pleading with you to really know your God. Anyone that going through challenges, whether marital problems, just talk to God. He is the one that will bring solution. If you have some children and not doing well, talk to God. He will do it. He will surely give you the direction. Okay, and God will help you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
This last one.
Okay, go on.
Let me add this last one before you continue. I think we have to also start from the grassroots. Right from when we are still boys. All these things need to be inculcated in our teachings to teach the boys. Remember, somebody cited the Bible. One of the things that Adam was first doing was having something he was doing. And before it was actually introduced, he has something he was doing. Every man has to be taught this purpose. If you look the way we grow up, every parent tells us, go to school so he becomes somebody. So what they are doing there, they are preparing us for our career, but not for the family. You need to go to school. If you play now, you will fail in school. What they were doing and teaching us was prepare us for our career. And that is why some of us are very badass in career. We're good, very good. We got doctors, we got PhD, we got this thing. But we are failing when it comes to the family unit. We're failing when it comes to the parenting works because we were not prepared. We were not taught. So I would suggest that right from when boys start growing up, let's start teaching them responsibility. Let's start teaching them purpose. Let's start teaching them this emotional
regulation.
Let's start teaching them how to be conflict resolution. And it's one of the things that we don't really have. Conflict resolution skills. We don't have it. If I say Jack, the woman will say Brown, and everything boils down together. We don't have these conflict resolution skills because we were never taught about most of this. So if we have to start from the grassroots when we're still young, when we're still boys, because you have to be boys before you become men, before you become a father. So if we start incorporating this into our children's life, take responsibility. You have to be accountable for this. You have to have a purpose. All this will shape and make us more better, both in careers and also in family.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for this suggestion, for this advice. However, the father must relate very well with the mother. There must be peace at home. There must be mutual relationship at home. So the mother must not be neglected, must not be bullied also, because the children are learning. So I will just plead with all of you, all of us, that we need to take our spouses along with us in everything we do. So that because a tree does not make a forest. So let us work together. And it's only God that can help us. You know, we watch my hand, I watch your hand, then the hand become clean. One hand cannot clean itself alone. It needs a partner. So let's work with our partner. Let God help us so that we can inculcate it. And we should not discriminate when we are teaching, when we are bringing our children. Men especially, we should teach them in the values of home, the chores at home. Everything that will teach our girls, let's teach our boys also, because they will carry a lot of responsibility as you are carrying now. And just as I said, most of us grew up without knowing the value of marriage. We are taught in careers and so on and so forth. I mean, I fail in this also, but thank God my children they learn. five quickly, but God really helped them. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Okay, so thank you. I'm going to summarize the support systems that help to tackle these barriers of fatherhood, because we've said too many things and I've been taking notes. So I'm going to start with the main thing that caught my attention, that gets me triggered and gets me moving. Number one, God factor. God has to be, because that's the establishment of the home. That's the foundation. So know your maker, know your God. When that is done, you can now use the intuition, the study, the understanding to choose right, what Nana said. You now know what skills for selection you need to equip yourself to be able to select the right person, who is compatible, who is complementary, and who is not. Who is your bone to your bone, and who is your bone to your muscle. The next thing is there should be mentorship. The lack of a figure to learn from brought forth an erroneous figure, an erroneous child. That erroneous child that grew up to be a father. Now there's no mentor to modify the learning, the actions of this father. He doesn't have somebody to look up to raise his own family. So he's doing it by the books, or he's doing it offhanded, or he's just doing it anyhow, following whatever works for him at that point. Being selfish, being absent, being lackadaisical, being emotionally aloof. Also, community accountability. If we have a community of responsible men, I can say, guy, you're not doing this. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. This is not what you're supposed to be doing to your wife. This is not what you're supposed to be doing for your family. I think it will go a long way. Also, there should be father-focused education. Just the way Snowflakes and my dad mentioned. Father-focused education, not just, get a career, get a job, get money. Father-focused education is raising future fathers even before they become fathers. Giving them the right tools, what they should focus on within themselves in the environment to make them what they are being called fathers. And finally, and this is the one that we look down on most, finally, there should be emotional support spaces for men. Thank you, Stokes. There should be emotional support spaces for men. I don't know how it's going to be, but men can gather and tell each other the truth without pulling each other down, without ridiculing each other, such that if I am overwhelmed, I can talk to my fellow guy and say, look, this is my challenge, man, I'm just tired. And he will like, okay, look, this is how you should, don't worry, I got your back. This is important. So I want to ask a question. How can the community help fathers to stay present rather than criticize them from afar? Because most of the time we are quick to point that father is a deadbeat dad, or that man is not there. How can a community help to make these fathers present without just pointing from afar and criticizing? How can a community help? Papa, I don't know if you want to take that.
Well, this kind of the community we are having now.
Okay.
Because we have so many people now talking, and with so many advisors and so many exposure, bring it together. I think we need to integrate. We need to be exposed, but by extending hands in not just shaming the absentee fathers, but calling them up, not calling them out. So you see those two things. So when we continue to engage in a discussion like this, and remember in those days when
thank you so much. Thank you so much. So now let's redefine. Now that we've gotten so far now. So can we redefine what is a successful father? What can we say, or how can we describe a successful fatherhood? Papa, I don't know if you.
Unfortunately, I'm running out of light now. The battery is almost gone.
Oh, okay.
And the father is off. So the generator is bad. The father is gone down because there's no son. Where to show a successful father, there's no success without a good successor. Let me use myself as an example. I'm fulfilled by God's grace because I have my children who are now bringing out this kind of issue to see that we have raised a responsible father. So I want to thank God for your life, and I pray that God will continue to increase you.
Amen.
So we should be able to develop people like that, and our children, they will inculcate in them so that they can be stand there and we can look up to them and say, thank God that we got a child that is doing well. So and everything depends on God. And give your children, pray for them every day, ask God to direct them, ask God to lead them, and that's all. Sorry, I'm off.
Yes, I understand. Yes. Right. So thank you,
So,
yes.
You need to pardon me. I'm going to be off now.
No problems. Thank you. Good night.
I would like to answer. What was the question? What is a successful father, right?
Now that we have looked at the tenets, the components, the barriers, the drawbacks, what is a successful father? What does successful fatherhood look like now?
I mean, if I have to, okay, so in my opinion, if I'm saying somebody's a successful father, right, I would say somebody who's responsible.
Okay.
Right? Somebody who takes accountability. That doesn't outsource, so let me. Consistency. Somebody who's consistent.
Yes.
Right? Shows up when he says he will.
True.
Keep routines and boundaries.
Yes.
Right? Act the same on good days and bad days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody who's understanding. Model emotional control, not supervision. Right? Apologize when needed. You know what I'm saying? So these are some of the stuff that I can say.
Yeah.
Right? That in my opinion, if I'm looking at somebody who's a successful father, somebody who protect their children and guide them, not control direction, like set boundaries that keep children safe, teach right versus wrong, right? And having respect for child's mother. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
those are the things that I can say that what a successful father look like. You know what I mean?
Now it's as if you're looking into my notes.
Oh, you have the same thing. Let me
Okay.
add this one to it. Right?
Okay.
This is how I will come in, right? Any child that can feel safe, that can feel seen, that can feel guided by the way of the Father showing up with love in a consistent manner, I will classify that father to be a successful fatherhood. And one thing again I want to say here is one of the things that I know is powerful is words. Words are very powerful. Words are powerful. So any father who always use their mouth to destroy their children with words, that is a big problem. That is a big problem. That's why that affirmation is also very key. It is very key. So we have to be able to use our own mouths to speak positive into the lives of those children. I think any father that exhibits all this will be classified as a successful fatherhood. You make your child feel seen, you make him feel heard, you make him feel guided. There's no identity confusion in his head. This also, let me add this to what you said, right? These days, counseling and working on my mental health is becoming a big part of my life, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw that in there too. You know, father making sure that you're doing the work on your past trauma, because we all have some traumas that we are carrying with.
Nana just carry my notes. Just carry my notes. Yeah.
You know, so we just have to do the work, so we'll be able to, raise this kids the right way. So I'm thinking, we have to incorporate counseling and working on our mental health into being the successful father. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of nobody. Or if you don't know how to take care of yourself, you wouldn't know how to take care of nobody. So that's what I want to add to Trishno's credit.
Yeah.
I mean,
So now, like I said, it's like you people were looking into my notes, because when I was in my story, the first thing that caught my attention is the fact that we are shifting. It's not about being perfect. It's about being responsible. It's not about being flawless. It's about being faithful. Now, faithfulness means I'm consistent. I'm showing up. I keep on striving. I don't give up. I'm consistent instead of being the intense. I'm choosing consistency over intensity. I'm working on myself. I'm reflecting and seeing, okay, this one I did before. Where did I go wrong? Where can I do better? What are the tools that I need to do better? How can I get them? What can I do? Do I need more study? Do I need therapy? Do I need counseling? Do I need a mentor? Repairing mistakes versus avoiding responsibility. So if I've done mistake before, I own up to it. I stand up, I modify I take the lesson and do better. I'm going to model emotional control. I'm going to model growth. I'm going to model humility, because this is what those children are going to take from me. That is what my spouse, my home is going to take from me. The fact that daddy can control, can correct us without lording it over us. The fact that daddy can be present and we feel him, not just he's standing there. We feel his opinion, we feel his input. The fact that he can do it with humility. He can stoop down to my level and come and play with me and tell me what to do without talking down to me. He can help me grow because I can see the way he deals with my mom. I can see the way he guides me even when I'm making mistakes. If all these are components that are present, we talk about emotional control, we talk about the child is seen, is heard, is being protected, he feels safe, then that are the marks of a perfect or a successful father, or successful fatherhood is being displayed. So, responsibility is not optional. Responsibility is tantamount to fatherhood. You cannot choose and pick and choose and remove responsibility from it. And support is essential. These fathers are not supermen, they are not robots. The support is also essential. This support includes the support from the home, the members of the home. And we have said before that fatherhood shapes generations. And fathers matter deeply and irreplaceably. And I'm going to stop on this note. Presence is a choice. And I hope that everybody is going to make that choice to be present. It's not a feeling, it's a choice. I choose to be present in the lives of my family members, my wife, my children. I don't know if anyone has any other statement to add.
Yeah, I always say that children are not really looking for perfect fathers. They're not looking for us to be start to like, hey, I can't make it. For you, in their eyes, you are their God, you are their hero. They're not looking for us to be perfect. They just want us to show up.
Yeah.
And they're not looking for us like, we're not going to fail. But when we fail, we still pick ourselves up and do the needful.
So so now I want us to look at some aspects of fatherhood. How do we compare leadership versus control from the father's point of view now?
Okay. Without even sweet coating it or painting it black and white, there's no leadership that does not require control. But that is where it gets clumsy. When we talk about control, people is like a trigger for a lot of people. But the kind of control we're talking about is not the radical control. But for every leadership requires control. Anything that can have an access needs the control. If my house is there's an access, I have to create measures that implement controls. But the control we are talking about is not people who use control as a weapon to oppress and dominate their partners. So this is the difference. But for any leadership, there has to be an order of control. But people then interpret this control negatively and see it as a bad thing. There is nothing, whatever you cannot control, you can't protect it.
Okay. That's one way to look at it. What you cannot control, you cannot protect. Authority without responsibility. Responsibility without authority is slavery. I think I heard that from someone before. So there's another aspect I want to look at this topic, and I want to look at it using the SWOT analysis. We do that a lot in corporate world: strength, weakness, opportunities, threats. What are the strengths that can be drawn from a father being present? I'm already ending, but I just felt that this should just come because I think we can identify more with it if we have our points.
Okay. Yeah. One of the things that you can draw from, let me put one out. Now, the strength of how he handles pressure. The ability for him to remain calm when there is chaos in the house, when the light bulb is going off. How he's able to bring stability into that confusion. That's a strength for men. And these are some of the things that the children watch. It's not when there is a conflict, there is a problem. Just as the woman is going to the left, the father is going to the right. The father brings clarity and calmness into the chaos that is currently happening. That's one strength that the children pick from.
Okay.
So I have a question for you based on what you just said, right? I want to go back to a question that you asked on your platform about leadership, right? And I'm listening to the way you describe things that a father is supposed to do and the kids are watching. Is that leadership or that's a partnership? Is that a partnership or leadership? Two things can serve the same purpose at the same time. What is leadership? Leadership is all about responsibility, being able to influence, guide, and lead, especially with compassion. Partnership is recognizing that there's an equal person within you, within the same unit. There's somebody that is also there that you can relate with. But at the end of the day, the leadership is not just a title, but it comes with responsibility. Partnership, hey babe, what's up? I have something we need to discuss. Bringing it into her attention means you see her as somebody you are joining with. That is partnership. Regardless, you're going to be the one to do the final say at the end of the day, or you both agree. That is partnership there. But that does not mean you will not still exhibiting true leadership skills in a partnership union. When we talk about partnership does not exclude leadership. Okay, I will come back to you on that later. But today, let's continue what we are talking about. But that part, we're not finished. All right.
So I want to go a bit personal now.
Okay.
Now, what strengths, it may be rhetorical, you may choose not to answer, but let's just reflect. What strengths did your father or father figure bring into your life?
Okay. Personally, for me, I watched my father for donkey years. I think the very first time my father took a holiday was after I was a full-grown man. Do you know what is holiday? So, in him doing this, he works every day of his life. Apart from maybe Sunday where he comes his home relaxing. He works. There was no complaint. He was dedicated. He was committed to his work. And in so doing, he ensured that we don't lack. But he never complained. So I look at him and like, damn. So that was something that I was looking into. I was really like, if my dad is like this, so it means there's no way I can give excuse. So that also shaped me a lot. That was great strength, making me not to be lazy.
Yeah. So imagine, for instance, now, my dad gave me everything I mentioned: emotional security, discipline, and boundaries. I know when to act and when not to act. I had a positive male role model. I could look up to my dad and say, this is the kind of person I want to be in the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, if I get up to the point where I have a family. So there was that positive role model, like, okay, this is a model I want to be like when I get to that position. And of course, there was this anchor, there was this stability in the family. And of course, it reflected in the neighborhood. Because as my dad is fixing stuff in the house, as he's setting up the house, making sure everyone is okay, he's also fixing stuff in the neighborhood, fixing the road. They could see, okay, that is so person is one that fixes this road. That is so person. His children will not be found in this kind of place. So that father figure was present domestically and even in the community. Where do fathers struggle? Let's look at weaknesses. We've gone through it before, but I now wrote it like tenets. Where do fathers struggle? In doing their duties as fathers, where do they struggle?
Okay, for me, I'm gonna look into my father, right? I'm gonna look back now to see where did I struggle to connect with my father. I would say my father was showing up by making provision.
Yeah.
Right. My father was showing up to like ensure we have everything in abundance. We never lack anything.
Yeah.
But he never one day sat me down to walk me through, oh, this is the teenage life you are now. This is what you're gonna be doing. No.
Unfortunately, my papa don't drop. I for tackle him now.
So we have to figure those things out. We have to figure those things out. For we interpret his provision as love, which is not questionable. I'm not going to question whether my dad loves me, but probably in terms of that emotional connection to guide you through your teenagers, and you know what? That is exactly where a lot of we missed it out, and that is why there is a lot of promiscuity within the community, because nobody's actually going to tell you, hey, at this point in your life, you need to be careful. You need not to be reckless. But in there, you'll be thrown in the ocean to learn how to swim by yourself. So I would say that is the area I see fathers best. They've done the best based on the knowledge that was available to them. So we now are not just using their template, we are also adding additional
Filling it
on
in.
top of those templates to filling it in to ensure it accommodates the needs based on the time we lived in.
Yeah. As you're talking, I'm just thinking my dad would tell me, if you impregnated a girl, you are leaving my house. That was the counsel. How you are going to feel if girl totori you, how your dollar will stand. I didn't have any of those lectures.
Exactly. Nobody talks about that. You're not even going to say you want to bring a girl to my dad house in the first place. You're not even going to have that kind of conversation with him. But you're normal. What is girl? Is that your purpose? You're not going to even...
Yeah. So
I can guarantee you my dad never even knew when I started having, those things.
So now, twofold questions. Number one, what internal struggles make fathers shy away from fatherhood? And are fathers adequately prepared for fatherhood?
Nana, you want to take that? I'm watching.
I think Nana is busy. Maybe he's preoccupied.
Come again with your question.
Two things. What internal struggles make fathers shy away from fatherhood? And do you think that fathers are properly equipped today for fatherhood?
Okay. I think sometimes the internal struggle that men always struggle with could be seen as, do you even think I'm a very good father? Am I feeling my child? Am I doing the right thing? What if this child failed? How is he going to navigate? Those are some of the things that we really deal with.
Yeah.
Right? Now, in terms of if fathers are fully equipped, I would say this era, there is no man on the surface of earth that is going to give an excuse. Because why? Every resource is available. Every resource is available. It is now left for you to seek out those resources to equip yourself. In those days, our fathers could use this as excuse.
Yeah.
Because resources were limited. But right now, resources are available. And that is why, on the side note, I also say, anybody who is using brokenness at this era is somebody who is lazy in a way. Because there's limitless opportunities available. So also, if you want to become a better father, there are other resources available. There are a lot of resources available, even though they still come with challenge, which you cannot eliminate. Challenges are always going to be in every phase, every chapter, every page of fatherhood.
Okay, well, thank you for that. Now we know that responsibility is not optional, and we have all the support, all the tools that we can use. And presence is a choice, like I said before. So I choose to be present. I choose to go and learn and pick up the tools for leadership. For that position I have put myself into, because I made the choice to start a family. I made the choice to have a home. So I must be properly equipped with what is on ground. There are lots and lots of resources for me to be on ground. Now, let's look at opportunities. In the opportunities, I'm looking at mentorship. The importance or the impact of mentorship, because most of the time we have influencer females, we don't have influencer males. And when I say influencer, I mean authentic ones, genuine ones that will talk to the common man. Unfortunately, Kevin S is no more. We have people that are coming up now, but they are not as applicable to our situation. Taking this color of our skin, at best we have pastors. So what are the opportunities? How can men or fathers use what is on ground? Or how would I say it? Where can we get help? Let me just put it that way.
Where can we get help?
Yes, to get the right skills of fatherhood, to get the right tools, to get correction, to get fine-tuning and redirection that, okay, guy, you've missed it. Come back here.
The reason that majority of these things are affecting men is because of how we are being conditioned. You're a man, go and figure it out. So it's like a man thing problem. You go and figure it out. If a man comes to you to tell you, Dr. T, man, this is the problem I'm going through. First and foremost, he's going to be feeling
ashamed.
in a way,
yeah.
And he's going to be feeling shame. And you may just say, stop, you're a man, suck it up, right? From the main general consensus, I'm not talking about we that are now being educated and enlightened and being aware and give that room for conversation like this. But go to the main general spectrum of men. They're like, what are you talking about, man? Let's suck it in. You're a man. So this is what give that limited access to resources for men. And that is why we are incorporating men's
spaces
meeting now, right? Men's spaces where men can vent, where men can speak their mind without being judged, where men can feel safe, where men can feel seen, where men can be heard without being judged. Those outlets will help men to actually express themselves. And one of the problems on this platform that I've seen, because it is open platform, men are still pulling back, right? Because they understand what the general labeling is all about. If any man comes to my platform now to start crying or express what he is actually facing, before you know it, every other person will start using it to do content. So that is still a barrier for the men to actually come out. So we have to either move the conversation from just the public space, because majority of the public space may be like, it's just performance. To take it to more a secluded platform where men only can be heard and seen, given the opportunity. Again, these are limiting men from having all these resources available to them.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate all our inputs today. My paper is full. I've been writing. And it's important that we have these conversations because we are the ones at the forefront now. My dad is over 70, he's closer to 80 now. He has lived a life based on what he was exposed to. And I can call him a successful father because he has raised a child to a father figure that is working on his fatherness or his fatherhood. So now it's my turn to use what I have learned and what's available to me to make the next generation not to suffer the absences, the lapses, the weaknesses, the challenges that I faced as a father and my grandfather and my father faced, so that they are properly equipped to fill that role of fatherhood. So if a child now asks me, where are you, father? I know what to answer. I know in my mind how to show up mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, consistently, intentionally. I know how to regulate emotions within myself and also for my children. My dad mentioned something about making sure that the child, the male and the female child, have the equal exposures. Learning how to cook, learning how to fix things, learning how to do this. I have a friend that can identify an engine by the sound. Female. If she hears the sound of an engine revving, she can tell you how many liters, she can tell you how many spark, how many plugs, she can tell you if it's V6 or V5, or she can tell you if it's inline. Because her father exposed her to mechanics workshop, he was always taking her for car shows and stuff like that.
Yes.
And
That is why.
she can change tire without your help.
Agreed.
So my final statement, the question is no longer where are the fathers? The question is where will fathers choose to be when they are called upon?
Good.
And with this, we've brought this conversation to a conclusion. Questions, answers, suggestions, queries, comments, please.
Thank you, Dr. T. And that is why we're not going to water down the parenting style from our forefathers, our ancestors, because every iPhone 17 we are enjoying today was built upon an existing iPhones 1, iPhone 3,
iPhone 3G.
iPhone 3G, Motorola, Nokia.
Yeah.
So also, we now have a template to build upon that can be sustainable and accommodate the current time.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. T, for this.
You're welcome so much. Thank you so much. I've never had my dad, in fact, I've never communicated with my dad on TikTok before, ever.
I was shocked, like, your dad, oh boy.
The moment you saw my flyer on, because I shared it to WhatsApp, the moment you saw the flyer, I said, what day is it? He wants to be there. I'm like, oh, well, this conversation will go hard. I've never had this kind of conversation with my dad ever before. Ever. So I really appreciate you lot that turned up, and I mean it's a load lifted off my chest. I really wanted it to be hashed out. Maybe a book is coming, I don't know.
That's good. That's good. That's good. This is it. I want to say thank you, and we need to keep pushing it.
Yeah.
Next time will be more bigger, like that. We can cover more aspects, cover more areas, get more people to understand what is happening, what we are up to. So this is it.
I would plan better, because this one kind of clashed with your program, which was it was unintentional for me.
Thank you.
Okay then.
All right.
Nana.
I need to jump off.
Okay, no problems. It's already 10:44 here for me too.
That's it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your input, your presence.
It was enjoyable.
Yeah. Okay. Good night, everyone. Yeah. Good night.
I'll see you later.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Bye. Yeah. For those just coming in, we've had a wonderful almost 3 hours discussing the statement, where are you, Father? And we have reached notable benchmarks. I've written and written and written. I've written so much. I have like 4 or 5 pages, 6 pages, 4 pages. It was wonderful. Dunia, my dad was here. He was one of the panelists. He was one of the panelists. This is the first time ever I've had my dad on TikTok. I've never had this kind of conversation with him. I never actually communicated with him on TikTok. So it was rich. We had, bringing the old school mentality to the new school mentality and show that it was still relevant. And I must say thank you to you, because you were the one that brought this idea to fruition. I must say that you were the main engine. You're the one that brought it. You're the one that brought the whole idea and everything. So I appreciate. Shapely said she was going to be here, and said to her, I guess she's busy. So I'm exhausted. Oh my god, I'm exhausted. But I'm also live on YouTube. Let me end the YouTube one. I actually had a